Hey there guys, it's Metro, and today we're taking a look at something absolutely ridiculous. I like this kind of thing. I want to show you guys this. What we're going to be talking about today is the Touch of the Void trinket. All right, it is currently broken. I'd imagine, let's just put this on the table right now. I'd imagine it's already fixed, okay? And you're going to see why I imagine it's already fixed right now. Every single one of us in this group is going to use it as often as possible. I'm coordinating its usage to make sure that we can pull big like this. So this is Mythic. We have like two people in the guild two people in the group here who are like 800 item level as damage dealers. All right, I've done them already. We have Demon Hunter Tank, who's one of our main tanks, but he's not done any of them yet. So yeah, we are not really supposed to be in here. I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't go in here with these people at this item level. I would say you got to be at least 820, around that for DPS. But yeah, as you see, the Void Tendril Trinket is doing 410k DPS. So yeah, it does about 3.4 million per application, per usage of it. And when you have 5 people that can use it, it obviously can do an immense amount of damage. Yeah, basically adds like a third person to the, or like 2 whole new people to the group in terms of that damage. There's nothing else that could even rival it. I do definitely think it is not going to stay this way because, of course, it is a trinket that does not even go to 110. For some reason, it's a trinket that stops at 100. It was for leveling back in WoD, but the tentacles continue to scale, and at 110, they are broken beyond belief, as you can tell. Like I said, it does more damage than an undergeared player, basically. Like, it does more damage than an undergeared player. Especially if for some reason the fight was the duration of the tentacles, there would be no way a player, like somebody who's not geared, could do as much damage as that in that time period. So, yeah, anyway, that's that. So we are going to talk a little bit about the dungeon too. We have Blackrook hold, of course. Like I said, we have a Demon Hunter tank, so you guys get to see that. I'm healing, which you may not have been been noticing yet so far. So this is cool. I get to show you guys a little bit. I have another healing video I'm going to upload next, and then I think I'm just going to go right to Blood DK uploads. I still have like 7 videos of Prop Paladin, but I don't know. It's all the same. Like, their burst is insane, and I'm bored with it. I don't like Prop Paladin, so... yeah, anyway, here's the first boss here. You're going to see our Elemental Shaman, our Enhancement Shaman, and our Fire Mage do some pretty nice damage. The Void Tendril, I'm pretty sure it just calculates on its own. So, yeah, you can keep an eye on that. But, yeah, of course, the Mage and the Shaman are the ones that are not geared enough for this. So, the Enhance is like 830 something, I think. He's got really bad shoulders, but he's got everything else like really high item level. So, as you see there, the Void Tendril Trinket is doing more damage than everybody else in the group. I am second on damage. I had a really, really nice pull here. And in fact, I am absolutely loving Holy as a DPSer. It is so fun. I think I burst up to like almost 500k on that pull. It's just nice. It's just great, man. I love it. I cannot say enough about how cool this change is. I don't think a lot of people fully understand it either, man. The amount of times I queue... like, it's a no-win situation for me. I queue for a dungeon as a healer, and we get a tank who's just an idiot. Like, it just takes forever. I queue for a dungeon as a tank, and we get a healer who does no damage. So I bring it up to him. I was like, hey, freaking sexy Sham healer, why don't you do some damage? I'm 25 item levels higher than anything that's going to drop in here. I'm very good at the video game. I'm a very attractive man, okay? So you don't need to heal me. You can heal the other guys if you want, but you don't need to heal me. I'm going to heal myself. Why don't you do some damage? And guess what, guys? Guess what they say? I'm not disciplined, bro. That's what a shaman replied to me with. Oh, you're not. Oh, you see, I didn't even fucking realize. I thought I saw a priest. I thought I saw a priest. I'm so sorry. You're right, sexy sham healer. Sexy sham heals. Calling that dude out. That's the dude's name. SXYSHAMHEALZ. With a fucking Z, yeah, or a Z, as you guys like to say, from Australia or Africa or wherever the hell you guys are from. But anyway, yeah, that's that. So yeah, unfortunately, the community is not seeming to embrace this, and I'm not really sure what I can do about it. I made like 8 videos on this topic. I wanted to make a video on the ways that every healer should maximize their DPS, but that's going to take a lot of effort. I have not played another healer at all. I leveled the shaman, but on the beta, I had a shaman on the beta, I should say. But I did not actually do anything with it. So all I really know is Holy Paladin, that is. I know Holy Priest pretty well because another guy in our guild is also a huge advocate of this, and he is doing even better damage than I am sometimes. So that's good. I'm glad to see Holy Priest can do a lot of damage. Um, but yeah, in general, the other healers in our guild are clueless. Like we have a shaman who I had to talk. I spoke about this in the last video. He's a great guy. I'm really happy he's here, but it's just really awkward. It's awkward to get people to understand this, I think, because it's such a cognitive dissonance. Like, it's the opposite of what you expect. It really is. And you know, some comments on this in past videos were similar to like, if I wanted to play a DPSer, I would just play a DPSer. I want to heal. It's like, well, you are healing, dude. You just don't need to at this moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still a healer. You can't queue as a DPS, as a Holy Paladin. Although, to be fair, if I did, I would probably beat half the people. In fact, I think I'm going to try that. I think when LFR comes out, I'm going to make a video on that. I'm going to just do DPS. I'm not going to cast a single heal, and we'll see. It will build it completely for DPS. There's a few talents I could change, and we'll see how much damage I do compared to everyone else. Because I'll be in raid gear by then. Oh, it's going to be glorious. But anyway, back to, to the main topic. A lot of people just don't seem to grasp their minds around it, and I don't know what to say to get people to know to properly understand. Like, because I don't want to insult people, you know, especially people in my guild. I feel like I'm insulting them because they're healer and they're pretty good at healing. Like, nobody in our healing team is going to be a bad healer, but the issue is not that, you know, whether or not they're skilled. It's actually that they understand the difference, the change, and a lot of people don't seem to know it. They don't seem to see it, which kind of makes me wonder. Like I always say, did you play as your healing spec at all out in the world? Because if you did, you would see immediately how much damage you're doing. So that just tells me, you know, like immediately I sit here and think, well, if I'm doing that much damage against a freaking wolf out in Suramar, then why wouldn't I be able to do that against a mob in a dungeon or a boss or something like that, you know? And now we're sitting here waiting because I'm an idiot and didn't cut this out. But anyway, yeah, that's that. So as you see, guys, this trinket is doing insane things. If they don't nerf this, I would check it out, guys. If you're watching this video right now, check it out. It does, like I said, every application 3.4 million or something like that. If it's not doing that, if it's doing like 2.8 million or something like that, it's because some of the tentacles aren't meleeing. So the trick is, as you see, the melee, like there's one tentacle there on the front and one on the back. It's not meleeing anything. They have to be surrounding the mobs. They have to be like about 5 to 10 yards away from mobs. Maybe 10's too much, but so yeah, you're not always going to get every single tentacle to do it, even though all of us here are popping it. So of course, as ranged damage dealers, you have to get into melee, because if you pop it where you stand, none of them will hit anything. But yeah, that's that. It's a really, I don't know. I guess it's an exploit, but if they don't fix it, I wouldn't even be surprised, because, you know, it's crazy for undergeared players, and it's really trivializing these dungeons. So I guess it is definitely not something that should stay in the game, but yeah, it just kind of opens up a few windows. It's not like this thing is going to actually be good for raids. I mean, maybe it will. It does a good amount of damage. I guess there's no other trinket on the planet that can do this much damage in one use, but the difference is it has nothing else. Like, it just does 3.4 million damage, so it would be really good burst trinket, but it has no stats on it that could help you. Like, the stats are from item level 600, so they're useless. But I don't know, maybe. Either way, I don't think it's going to stay very long. So I would check it out. If you guys are watching this video today, I would immediately log on and try it. It is Labor Day in the United States, so I don't think Blizzard is working at all, but I'm not sure if that matters. I don't know how that contends with them doing hot fixes and stuff. And then here again, you're going to see just the damage it does on this boss. It's just absolutely ludicrous. It's really surprising, actually. I guess, I don't know how it got in the game is what I'm trying to articulate here. I think it's just because nobody tested it, but I think it also it could be because it didn't work up until 101 or 110. I mean, I think at 101 it just didn't do anything. Like, it might not have even done damage, so that nobody used it to level with. Because you'd be surprised, like, there's people out there who test a lot of crazy stuff like this, and it always kind of shocks me when you see people leveling for a level. You see a level 26 on the beta or something like that, because they're doing some weird shit that most people wouldn't think about. But yeah, anyway. So in terms of the DPS as a healer, you see it's not too bad. Bursty is the name of the game for Holy Paladin. Holy Shock hits extremely hard, and of course, since I'm going to be building crit anyway, I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage if I get lucky. And then I have the Divine Purpose talent, I think it's called. Yeah, Divine Purpose. That is, you know, not everybody's favorite in terms of healing. It's pretty good. Like, I like it for healing because it's crazy, but it is RNG, so you can't really rely on it. But the real reason I like it is because when I get a reset of Holy Shock on the pole, I double my DPS easily. I go from 200k to 500k. So it's just that good, like, to have that. I think that, you know, it sounds stupid. I'm sitting here talking about DPS as a Holy Paladin, but I think this is really important moving forward, guys. Like, I'm talking about raid bosses too here. I'm talking about 8-minute encounters where I can do like 50k DPS. That's nothing to sneeze at, man. That is nothing to sneeze at. That's going to be a few percentage of the damage, you know. And I'm still going to be able to heal full time. There's going to be fights where there's nothing to heal for periods of time. You have to embrace this. You can't just say like, "Oh, well, that's fine when you you know, content's easy." Like, look at, because, you know, this is still just a 5-man. There's not much healing needed. I could probably not even heal most packs, and still everybody would be surviving. Never gonna happen in a raid, right? Like, never gonna be able to not heal for multiple minutes at a time and still everybody be good. You'd just be useless. Like, you wouldn't be doing your job. But I wholesomely believe that there is going to be windows, like at least, you know, 10, 15-second windows where you could easily get in a lot of DPS. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to get in, you know, 15, 20 straight globals, but I definitely think, you know, first of all, on the pole, definitely step one on the pole, it's got to be 5, 6 globals at least. Nobody needs, you know, everybody's going to pre-pot. Tanks are going to be full health. They have all CDs up. Most tanks are popping. Like, a lot of tanks now are defensive CDs are actually offense too, so they're going to be using them on the pole. Like, I know Prop Paladin for sure going to be building up like 30 seconds of active mitigation and topping the DPS chart with that. So they don't need a single point in healing, absolutely none, because all their CDs are up, so their heal is going to heal them for over 100% of the damage remaining. So that's awesome. So you don't need to heal him ever, you know what I mean? It's just a one example. So why not just DPS full time? You know, and that's the way to treat it. And I think unless there's fights where you start immediately by getting a lot of AoE damage out, you might as well just do every single global as healing or as DPS, because, you know, so if there is a fight, I guess kind of like Blood Queen Lanithil, where like you immediately start taking AoE damage the second the encounter starts. Maybe that's not the best example, but either way, there's definitely fights out there like that. So if there is in Legion, then yeah, you're going to have to reconsider this. But otherwise, a standard fight, like even Archimon, right? Final fight of the expansion, there was nothing. I just did damage straight. The only time I healed anyone, the first time I healed anyone, even back in April when we were working on this, the first time I healed anyone was when I went to get the Doomfire. I did the Doomfire as a Paladin. I would get the Doomfire and take it over to the side. The first Doomfire, the only Doomfire. I would take it over to the side and drop it. That was when I first started healing. Even back in, you know, back in the day when Holy Paladins did no damage. Like, the max damage I could have done at that point was like 30k when people were doing like over 150k, 200k, you know what I mean? So it was just negligible. Like, I wasn't even, there was no point to me even doing it. In fact, that's what other people said in the guild. I was like, dude, I was telling my buddy Vic, like, he's the priest I was just describing. I was like, dude, do some damage too. Like, you know, this is a DPS race, and we were struggling with damage at the time. You know, our guild's not crazy serious, so we came to Archimon mad late. But, you know, the ring and all the strategy stuff was making it easier. But we were still getting that second Doomfire on occasion if we didn't get a good pull. So I was like, dude, we could hedge our bets here heavily. If me and you and all the other healers do some good damage, we could equate to like 1 damage dealer. And that would be enough, right? That's what I said, 1 damage dealer, like 4 of us. I think 3 of us either way. 3 of us could equate to 1 damage dealer. Well, guess what now, guys? I can do more damage than a damage dealer. Do you understand that? Like, if I get lucky and I actually play the spec properly, which I guess is not really applicable because you assume your other players are going to play their spec properly. But anyway, I can do a lot of fucking damage. Let's put it that way. Like, on the pole, for 4 or 5 globals, I can do easy 500k right now, and that is in the gear I'm in. So imagine once I'm like, you know, 860 item level, ready for mythics, probably even closer to 870 at that point, I'm gonna be able to do a lot of damage, man. So I'm really excited about that. I really am. I don't really have much else to talk about here today, but there's still a lot of video left. I don't know. Let's take a look at what's left here. That's stupid to me. I don't know why I even said that. Of course, I have something else to talk about. Elemental Shamans, guys. So this is a topic that we kind of discussed a lot on the beta. It took me a really long time to find an Elemental Shaman. We have one in our guild. He's a long-time player in this guild. In fact, he was in all the way back in my first guild that I ever made, which started at the end of TBC. So me and him have been playing together for over like 8 years now, which is crazy, right? Think about how many people you've been playing. You even know for 8 years. It's pretty crazy, right? There's a select few people. But anyway, yeah. We've been together for a long time, and I trust this guy. But, you know, I warned him. I was like, you know, Ellie's in a weird back and forth state. I think they have the potential to be really good, but I think, you know, you really got to want to play it right now because, you know, it just seems like Enhance is more straightforward and stronger. But I think he's doing really well. Now, first of all, AoE is a big issue. And don't forget, guys, he was like 805. I think he was like 802 item level when we started these. So it's not really going to be a very good indication. We had done one dungeon before this, so I think he's probably like up to like 806 or something by now. I think he might have got like one piece. But the first dungeon we did, he just got one shot by everything. So I think that says a lot. In fact, I think he might almost die here. This is pretty tricky. We're trying to really play ahead of our game right now with these people being this under. And there's good old Rookie fucking ice blocked. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, let's talk about single target on the bosses. We'll take a look at it. As long as everybody's popping the Void Tendril trinket, it shows up as like its own player, I think. So if only like one person uses it, or maybe only two, I guess if it doesn't do like a substantial amount of damage, it shows up as the person's damage. I don't know. I really don't know how it works, but either way, the single target number should be pretty indicative. So I think, you know, there was some bosses in here where you saw him do pretty good, but I just was ranting about nonsense stuff, so I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. But on this boss, after we kill these bats, we'll finally engage the boss, and we'll see exactly what he does. But like I said, the enhanced player, he's new to the guild. He's a good guy. He's a friend of some friends who've been in the guild for a long time, so I expect good things from him. So let's take a look. So first, of course, immediately I'm going top of the charts, right? I mean, look at this. Look at that's legit damage, right? Because there's the Void Tendril trinket there. So that's all me and the Enhancement Shaman right now. Top. Burst is pretty good for Enhance too, guys. But as you see, there's Rember. You know, Richard's doing pretty good damage. He's not out DPS in the trinket, but oh no, now the trinket's out DPS in everyone. So okay, no big deal. But yeah, so he's doing pretty good. He's beating the Fire Mage, and if you guys know who Rookie is, like you should not be surprised by that. Anyway, but yeah, so what's that number there? 250. So that's pretty good because that's I'm not 100% sure, guys. So maybe this sounds really stupid, but trying to analyze damage in a freaking 5-man where we have this trinket. It's just stupid. I don't know why I'm even uploading this, but either way, yeah, I think Ellie's not too bad. So you see the damage towards the end here, like he starts going he even goes up higher. So that's kind of cool. And we'll see it on this last fight here too. I think he dies though. I don't know. Either way, I'm just here to tell you guys, Ellie's not bad. Okay, I don't know why. I see this thread every day on the front page of MMO Champion. I have no idea. I've freaking no idea why this keeps going on the front page of MMO Champion. People just keep like bumping into whatever constantly. Elemental DPS is like unnaturally low or impossibly low or something stupid like that. It's like, dude, do you ever think you're just bad at the game? Like, do you ever think that? You ever think you're just unskilled? Because I think that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Like, maybe some shaman experts are watching this video. You guys tell me, all right? But please, be objective. I think this is the way I look at it, okay? I think Enhancement is better. They have insane burst, and they have some good cleave. They have cleave, all right? They don't have AoE anymore like they did with Fire Nova. They don't have that exponential AoE anymore. But they have good cleave, and that cleave goes a long way when you're doing good damage as well. Now, Ellie does not seem to have good AoE, unless, I don't know, I'm missing something. I checked it out myself because I wanted to see it a couple weeks ago. Rick as well is having trouble with AoE. It's the chain lightning. It doesn't seem to do very much damage. I think it's the big issue. They have the earthquake totem, but it also doesn't seem to be very effective damage-wise. And it actually... It knocks people down, I guess, is why he's loving it. He's loving it because it knocks them down, so it constantly interrupts cast. So that's pretty useful still. I mean, that was part of the reason why Ellie was so good back in Mob 5-mans. But, yeah, so there you see him. He's top of the chart right now. But, of course, I still cannot verify whether or not he survives that. Did you see that holy shock? Oh! That's a wings holy shock, guys. That just healed that dude for almost 100% of his health, man. I'm really loving Holy Paladin. I cannot wait to actually rate as this class. But anyway, yeah, so back to the DPS. But yeah, so AoE seems to not be their forte, even though they have like some interesting kit basics. But I think single target, they're going to be great. I think they are. I think for raids, they're going to be really strong. And they bring some things. You know, of course, they bring Lust. Having an Ankh is nothing to sneeze at. But I guess it comes down to, you know, would you want your shamans to be Ellie, Resto, or Enhance? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, especially from a raider's perspective. I don't play the game like that. I don't really care. Anybody wants to play suboptimal spec, I just tell them, all right, well, you better be able to play it to the best it's fucking possible then, because if you're doing crazy low DPS, you can't come. But I don't give a shit. Like people playing like Frost Mage or something like that. It's like, well, you better be able to play it as well as an Arcane Mage can play Arcane, and if you can't, then you can't come. You know, that's the way it is. And there are people out there who can play these specs. Like I know people who played. I can't remember which spec it was. It was a spec that was like really out. Oh, it was Subtlety Rogue back in Firelands. This dude wanted to play Subtlety, and I was like, ooh, I don't think you want to play Subtlety. And he did so well as it. So yeah, you know, anything's possible. But anyway, that's it, guys. If you have any questions about Legion or the trinket or anything like that, let me know. Otherwise, that's been the video. We'll see you guys in the next one where I'm going to be doing regular healing without all this nonsense.